I know Power Rangers came a long way from the not-so-late 1993 debut, and at that time, even when I got myself into full enjoyment of the show regardless of my age, I was not aware that the show would be caused to work its way up. Each day I watched one of the episodes, I had my hopes set on such a resolution that the Power Rangers would finally vanquish Rita and Zed and their empire. But it's still one episode after another as I find myself having to turn my attention to the Machine Empire with the rest of the audience. I'm just so used to the team of black, pink, blue, yellow, and red. I never thought I had to one day get used to the new suits. And the book of Rita and Zed and their empire still hadn't been closed on. When Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was on the air, there was something to concentrate on. But then we end up getting more and more shows with something different. If there should be something else to focus on, couldn't it be for some other show? It could have been applied to Alien Rangers and then Power Rangers Zeo and onward, and the show would still evolve into a franchise. But I digress. Even though it's a kid's show of action, humor, and fun, shouldn't Mighty Morphin Power Rangers keep consistent of its own plotline basis? I think that for those who believe that it should, the best way for it to properly happen is for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers to exist as only one show. For starters, Zero Ranger is the Super Sentai series used to make Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And best put, the Ranger suits, costumes of the main villains, costumes of the monsters, and footage of the monsters and machines that would be known as Zords in the adaptation are all incorporated. Zero Ranger has 50 episodes, and they were all used for particularly the first season of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, comprising of 60 episodes. I guess the extra 10 episodes have something to do with them being parters. But 50 is a noteworthy number. By just looking at that number, you ought to get 2 seasons or possibly 3. Either way, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers would have had a solid run. But I don't know what was in the minds of the storyboard writers. Adapting all the episodes into one season? They didn't really have to do that, didn't they? Not all that necessary if you think about it. So, if Zero Ranger can be turned into another show, there is no requirement of rushing the job and compressing the needed elements of all the episodes into one season. Sometimes you have to know when to stop as well as to start again. Now, to break the show into 2 or 3 seasons with only Zero Ranger. How about make the first season basically feature the regular 5 Rangers, and then Tommy is an official Ranger in the second season? If a third season is achievable, at least sustain the valuable essentials. But once the run of the show ends, there needs to be complete closure when the main enemies are neutralized. And as we watch the adventures of the 5 Rangers, later to be 6 Rangers, I'd like there to be some character development. I'd like there to be when the characters are learned about and they grow and evolve. I don't want it to be the case that any of the heroes are one-dimensional or have stereotypical tropes or are always back to square one after an episode. And it doesn't have to be one episode of Zyuranger implemented into each episode of its adaptation. There can also be episodes with completely original footage. There'd still be involving missions in those episodes. It's one way to make the most of it, I'm just saying. And in those episodes, maybe they can implement new ideas like allow each of the main 5 Rangers to wear the Green Ranger's armor. It was seen happening with Jason and Zack, so why not do it to the others? The show can also have its own monsters or threats that don't require Zords to defeat them. I mean, weren't there instances when an enemy is done for and they were not revived and turned into giants? So that's the best I can think about it. Adapting Zyuranger into Power Rangers was a great idea, but there are better ways of doing it because it's better to give it a resolution rather than just continue the story to the point of jumping the shark and end up adapting more Super Sentai series. Power Rangers as a franchise that it is, I have my best moments of it. But there are times when I wish I didn't have to wait that long to be able to watch the eventual resolution to the plot. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is such a 90s classic that someone would say doesn't need to be continued too long. But if it's worth expanding into something bigger, I have no problem with it. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is the reason why I'm a lifelong fan of the Power Rangers franchise in the first place. But even so, they could have just stuck with Zyuranger. As for the other Super Sentai series that were adapted into Power Rangers shows, considering that many of them even had enough potential for it to begin with, that's another topic for another video. Now I turn it over to you. Did you become a Power Rangers fan because of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers? Are you better used to the first season? Do you think it should have stayed as one show? And what do you think it should have and should not have for it to be its best? Also, if the other Super Sentai series were not adapted into Power Rangers, what shows do you think they could have been turned into? Let me know what you think. And thanks for watching.